Oh my god, I was muted. Whatever. Hello, everybody. Welcome, my psychic students, to the stream. You may have noticed that this is not Deacon. This is, in fact, a puzzle that I have been working on, and I thought I would give you a little preview. What do you think? It's been a little bit difficult to finish this, but I finally did. And I'm not telling you anything else about it, except what you see on screen. And no, it is not literally going to be Battleship, but it's obviously inspired by Battleship. But the actual game itself, yeah, it won't literally be the game of Battleship. May all of Northburg's ships be sunk by cannons blessed with Draken's might. But yeah, that's all. Just wanted to share a little hint of the stuff that I've been working on behind the scenes. Working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and a lot of what I was doing this week was sending out more Kickstarter orders to all of y'all who ordered physical rewards on the Kickstarter. It's pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, what we are listening to right now is like ambient noises mixed with Portal music. So, pretty cool stuff. Okay. What are we doing today? Well, today we need to do some hair on Deacon. We need to sculpt him. We need to make sure that he has a nice head of hair on his head. I was working so hard on finishing that puzzle that I did not have time to collect my references and put them in here, so excuse me a moment while I do that. There's a couple pictures of reference that I used for Deacon's hair. So let me put those in real quick so that I have something to work off of besides the concept art. Sorry, that sound is my screenshot. And the last screenshot that I'll need. There we go. Got our historical references. I don't really like that this aperture science ambient thing is kind of just doing the same thing over and over, so I'm gonna change to relaxing Portal music. Okay, here we go. Alright everyone, now it's officially time to change to work mode. Let's listen to relaxing Portal music and get some work done together. Anybody else working on stuff while the stream goes? Oh, I do have something pretty exciting to share, actually. Because I've been working on fulfilling Kickstarter orders this week, I also started 3D printing again. Oh, hold on. Which means that pretty soon, in fact, it's printing right now. Right now, Judith is printing on my 3D printer. I have a little Judith model that, yeah, it's currently printing. So, I'm excited to show you all when it's done. Judith has naturally curly hair, yes. She has naturally curly hair. I finally got to crank out the old 3D printer again. I haven't used it since before I left for Japan, so it's been a couple years. I cleaned it all up and I've been trying to make sure it works properly, and right now I'm doing my first print on it in years, so we'll see if it works well. It's not a PLA plastic printer, it's a resin printer, which is perfect for little figures and such. So hopefully Judith is going to turn out well and not snap off and fall and be destroyed. When have I ever said that I don't like vinyl figures? I love vinyl figures. I just don't like pop figures. That doesn't mean I don't like vinyl figures. I love vinyl figures. I would love to have all of my characters made as vinyl figures. That's why I have a 3D printer. I have to give basically all of my male characters some level of sideburn, because without it, it kind of looks awkward not having any ears there. Okay, I'm not actually in the mood for Portal music, I just realized. Let's just do Esoteric Ebb again. Oh wait, you know what? We should do some Nancy Drew music. Let's see. Nancy Drew, Dark Academia, study playlist. This is a really good playlist. Mitch asks, how has casting been going for the game? Almost everybody is cast by now. I still haven't cast anybody of the various students yet. That's gonna come much later when I'm ready to record all of that. However, everybody else is cast except for the Bard and Madame Moramore. Those two have been a little difficult to cast. The Bard is difficult to cast because there's so many good auditions for him. So many very well done ones. So, anyway, you'll get updates. The reason I haven't officially announced any of the new casting yet is because I have been so busy. Right now, my main focus is getting Kickstarter orders out. Once that is off my task list, then I can focus more on finishing up editing the script. Then, voice acting. Anyway, I'm so sorry it's been taking so long for the voice acting stuff, but I'm only one person handling all this, so it's just been a lot to do. And I'd like to get all the Kickstarter stuff checked marked off of my list so that I don't have to worry about that anymore. I just realized, is this on like 2x speed? It is! Oh, no wonder. Okay, there we go. I was watching a video earlier at 1.6 speed, and the music was sounding pretty bad because of that. Oh, speaking of Kickstarter rewards, it looks like somebody just got their Resonetic ability book. And put it in the Discord chat. Hold on. But yeah, I'll make sure to show everybody how the 3D prints turn out. Okay, back to the sculpting. Okay. I think I'm gonna go more for the style on the top right here. That's more what I think I want to go for. But with a little bit of a mix of the bottom of this one. Even though having this stuff at the bottom is a little more 70s, I think. I like it because, I don't know, it adds a little bit of character, I think. But technically, if he was at a real boarding school, I don't think they would allow him to have that frill at the bottom. So, it's pushing it a little bit, but historically. But hey, sometimes I push things just for the fun of it. And it helps him look more unique, stand out a little more. By the way, oh, wait, 1 second. Okay, this should be fun. These bangs should be pretty fun. Also, I realized that I kind of lied in the title of this live stream. I said in Blender, but I'm actually in ZBrush right now. Sorry. I'm a dirty liar. I forgot to change it. Happy birthday. I don't think ZBrush is on Steam. Also, I was lucky enough to get it through a job, so I don't have to pay the monthly subscription fee on it. I don't think I could afford it if that was the case. I'm on a permanent license given to me by one of my bosses in the past. Okay, now we must Dynamesh. Too small. Let's Dynamesh again. How much is the subscription? I don't remember. But it's prohibitively expensive. Like all subscriptions these days to 3D software. Cat's Library asks, is Deacon going to help Nicholas make his boat? Yes. The reference guy at the bottom right has so much aura. Yeah, really. Oh yeah, the lesson streams. I gotta do a lesson stream at some point. I haven't, I've been so busy I kind of forgot that I was gonna do that at some point. I don't know how exactly I'm going to change Marisol's hair yet, but I have some ideas if I end up having the time to do it. Why does his hair look pixelated? Because it's not done. There's not very many polygons on it right now. I don't know anything about Sailor Moon, so I don't know. What do all the references for Deacon have in common? Just their different hairstyles that I like, that's all. These are hairstyle references, not anything else. I'm taking different elements from different pictures, potentially. Good to have a couple different references on screen to look at, so you're not just directly copying one of them. Oh, I'd like to take a vacation, but don't have the time. Thank you, though. Marcus asked, I don't remember if I asked this, but is limited color palette of Noy Vest just game aesthetics, or do we see color like the characters do in the game? All of the color choices are canon to the project, so yes, it's all the way we see this world through the game is how the characters see it as well. Oh, Oscar. Doing a research trip to Europe would be insane. I've never been to Europe before. I'd love to visit. And you bet your butt that even if it wasn't a research trip, it would still be a research trip, because no way I would never go to Europe and not want to get a bunch of visual references and pictures and stuff. You know, every time I go to one of these old house tours and mansion tours, I always take a bunch of pictures of just anything that I'll want to use as a reference. For example, for the king and queen portraits that I recently posted, I referenced those poses from a couple of portraits from a local museum here. Start a stream goal to send you on vacation. I doubt that would happen, but even if people sent me that kind of money, I would probably just want to use it on voice actors if needed. I still have to make sure everything gets... Yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'll just do a... But I will start a little super chat goal here for $5 donations. If anybody's interested. I can't do the little message thing yet because I'm not texturing, but if anybody wants to donate to help the stream, you can do so through super chats or through the link below. How exactly do the species of the universe see the color spectrum? They also see it the same. They also see this world as black and white as well. I don't remember the name of the museum. It was a home-turned museum, like an old rich person's house turned museum. And a collection of art that they had. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this other bang. Do I want it to go out like this, or do I want it to go in like that? Because if I look at this hair, it's kind of... Huh. Okay. Let me just mess around with it and see what happens. Can Cyclones see infrared and ultraviolet light? Probably not. They have the same kind of vision that we do. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't do this. I should do this. Like in the picture. Europe Research Trip Fund or voice acting too. Thank you so much, Cigarette. Thank you very much for the donation. And that's 1 out of 10 on our donation goal for the stream. Thank you so much for the support. W donation. Oh. Hey, to get the ball rolling on some conversation, do y'all have any favorite puzzle games? Obviously, anybody who knows me knows Portal 2 is my favorite game of all time. Oh my goodness! Thank you so much, Oscar, for your £5 donation. Much appreciated. Now we got 2 out of 10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Someone is mowing the lawn outside. That's what's happening. What does Deacon think of the Warrior Bats books? It's funny you said that because I actually have a line about that in the game. He likes them. He decided to read them because Gina was hyping him up so much. So he's like, you know what? I'll give it a try. And he did. And he ended up liking them. And he talks with Gina about them. And that's all I will say, because that ends up going into a side quest. Yeah, I don't know how this microphone is picking up the what's outside. It's really not even that loud. Why does my microphone pick up the lawnmower? What is going on? I wouldn't say Deacon is Gina's best friend, but he's one of her very good friends. The puzzle aspects of the old Tomb Raider games. I really need to play those old Tomb Raider games. I've only played the reboot games. And while those are good games, I feel like I'm missing out on Laura's old personality, so I'd like to give those a try at some point. Give them a shot. I watched the most recent Tomb Raider movie, and it was pretty forgettable. I don't know, I don't really remember much about it. I remember it being decent. I have not watched the Angelina Jolie ones before. But yeah, I really ought to play the OG Lara Crofts. Gina's best friend. Gina doesn't really have a best friend, I'd say. She's very good friends with Lydia and Deacon and Judith and Marisol. Marisol's a little tricky because she is kind of friends with both Becky's and friend group, but also Judith's friend group, which can cause some awkwardness with the fact that Becky and Judith are on very bad terms right now. So sometimes that leads to Marisol having to kind of split her time between one group or the other group, and it probably stresses her out a little bit. She wants everybody to make up and be friends again. Will that happen? I don't know. Guess you'll have to find out. Oh, I remember the game that this is from. This is from that Nancy Drew game with the Pharaoh's tomb. Well, I don't think it was a Pharaoh's tomb. It was the Empress's tomb in Egypt. That was a fun one. But of course, I love any games that are based off of like archaeology and mysteries and, well, you know, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider Indiana Jones likes. And ancient puzzles and traps and things. That's my go-to. I feel like I'm going kind of slow, but it's also because I don't know exactly what I want to do here. I'm just sort of feeling things out, seeing if I like where it's going. I did play Carmen Sandiego games when I was a kid. I don't remember too much about them, though. It's almost looking a little too sleek and suave. I don't know. I feel like it should look a little rougher because he's always working out in the clubhouse that the kids share. We'll see. I'll keep playing with things. Of course, Nathan Drake. I didn't even think I needed to mention Uncharted. Y'all know I love Uncharted. I didn't even need to say it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep playing with it. It's part of it too. I feel like if he had his glasses on, it would look a lot more close to the art. But anyway, like I said, gonna keep playing with it. There we go. Alright, let's save. I want to give him that sort of separated lock right here too. So let me go ahead and let's add in a cube. Guys, this is a work in progress. Please, have patience with me. Just blocking things in before I actually do the shape. Smooth tool. When I hold down shift and I do this, it smooths it out and that naturally helps it become more of a tube shape. There you go, that's the secret. Secret to making cubes into hair. And then of course moving them around a bit, playing with it. Marcus says, I know some of your Noramor students were transfers from other planets. How does space travel work? Actually, none of them are. Nobody in Noramor is a transfer from another planet. Except the vendor. But she's kind of a weird exception, and she doesn't really go to the school. She's just a traveler. Lydia has been to other planets, but she's not from another planet. She's just from another country. She's from another country, not another planet. They no. Yeah, they're in... All the students are from Noivest. I was thinking about having some, alien transfer students, but it just never... The idea never really panned out. I felt like they would just stand out way too much from the rest of the cast. Being fully color and everything. Oh my god, why did I do that? Oof. Let's move this out. There are some lower class kids at the school too, but generally the school is more for upper class. At least that's been cut so much that they've had to let anybody in, basically. Well, not anybody, but open it up to more classes. Space travel, almost all the planets now have some form of space travel. Does that mean they developed it themselves? No. A lot of the space travel technology is derived from Earth and Allokur, the dragon people planet. They are the ones that developed the most sophisticated... Oh, what the heck? The most sophisticated space travel, and then a lot of the space travel on other planets is derivative of those discoveries and iterative on those discoveries. Humans in the lore of this planet are considered to be strange. They are considered to be exploration maniacs who can't seem to leave any stone unturned in this universe. And they're basically considered like cyborgs, techno wizards. Humans are cyborg techno exploration wizards. You can find them on any corner of the galaxy. I wouldn't say they're necessarily as kind-hearted as the Starfleet and Star Trek. At least, you know, how the Starfleet, they have certain principles they have to align with. There are so many humans that it just depends on who you run into, I guess, if they're gonna be the kind that has some kind of specific dogma that they're trying to follow, or non-intervention type of thing. Or if they're just here to make some money and they're mining all the asteroids they can and don't care who it harms, you know. Humans can be good, humans can be bad. Humans have all kinds of different ideologies to them, and that's what makes them so puzzling to deal with, I would say. You never know what you're gonna run into when it comes to running into a human in the middle of space. Ah, that's too much sideburn. No, I would not say they're more like the James Cameron Avatar. Well, I mean, if you dive into the Avatar lore, obviously there's all kinds of humans with all kinds of different motivations and moralities. But they're not all like the RDA in Avatar, but there are definitely some that are like the RDA in Avatar, because again, that's the nature of humanity. Some people are going to be like that, some are not. I imagine there's some kind of NASA organization that is trying its best to explore and preserve and that kind of thing, but there is also more, again, of an RDA type of place that's just looking to exploit as much as it can. This is not one of those, like, humanity bad doomer pill type of stories. It's, you know, all of us can be sinful, but there are a lot of good people out there too, trying their best. So more like Mass Effect. Yes, definitely, I would say. Yeah. You put the nail on the head. Oh boy. British Museum. Hola. Welcome to the chat. Humanity equals weird. Yes. Humanity is weird, but I love us for that. It's also going to be interesting trying to strike a balance between some level of realism, but also this universe is inherently pretty cartoony. Because, I mean, convergent evolution aesthetically, why they all have retro-themed planets. I mean, it's a little silly, so I'm trying to what story exactly I'm trying to make here. It's not hard sci-fi, it's more of a fantasy story with sci-fi elements. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully that makes some level of sense. I also really question people that side with the RDA. Those videos kind of piss me off, actually. They really piss me off, actually. I cannot sit through any of those "the RDA was right" videos, because anybody who has any actual, like, honesty and good faith when trying to engage with the Avatar movies know what they're saying is complete bull. You have to really twist the story and purposefully misunderstand what's happening in those movies to think the RDA are the good guys. Or you just have to be a bad person. I don't know. Like, every RDA is good argument I've ever seen literally lies or purposefully misrepresents what the text is saying. Like, straight up, they lie about what the movie says. It is bizarre to me how many people hate the Avatar movies without understanding them at all, or even making any level of attempt at actually engaging with the text. It's crazy. Marcus, I think it's an interesting discussion to have. you know, like, but it's a very, I think the humanity first kind of stuff is interesting, but it's kind of an interesting topic to think about, but in the case of Avatar, it's just messed up, I think, because, anyway, like that's a whole other discussion, but you don't exploit and hurt other species if they haven't even, I don't know, anyway, that's a whole other discussion, but it's an interesting lie about the movie. Yeah, exactly, Ziggurat. Like, I understand why people might not like the Avatar movies. I just hate when they literally specifically misrepresent what is in the movie to try to make an argument. If people were more honest and just said, this isn't for me, I could respect that. I think Rocky and the Na'vi are really cool, both in their own ways. Rocky is a interesting take on the more alien ideas of sci-fi, while the Na'vi are more of a interpersonal, more human-like take. And I think both are cool. I think both are cool. I think this is maybe too much scruff at the back, I don't know. I don't really have any preference either way of whether a story is more human-like aliens or more alien-like aliens. It really just depends on the story, and it depends on what the creator wants to do, you know? I think having the Na'vi be human-like is very important to Avatar because it's a romance. They mentioned that in the behind-the-scenes documentary, which is really cool, by the way. Even if you're not a huge Avatar fan, I highly recommend watching the behind-the-scenes documentary of the first movie. It made me appreciate the movie a lot more after watching it. I mean, y'all know I'm a fan of the movies. But the documentary talks about the process of designing the Na'vi and how difficult it was for them to try to figure out exactly what to do with the Na'vi, because this has to be a movie that is accessible to a lot of people. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make something that is accessible and understandable to many different people around the world. I mean, there's a difference, I think, between making something accessible because you want it to be, or to make it accessible in order to appeal to the brand or the shareholders, or violating your own artistic vision. In this case, it makes sense to want the Na'vi to be appealing and audience because it's a romance and you don't want it to come across as bestiality, okay? Like, that's I feel like that is a perfectly good reason why they look so human-like. Yeah, Cameron has complete creative control over his work, and that's what I think why I enjoy. Part of what I enjoy about those movies is that I feel like I'm seeing someone's unfettered creative vision coming through. It's so fun. Even all of the kind of dumb stuff in it, or stuff that is kind of silly about it, just feels like this is this guy just doing what he wants to do, and you know what? Power to him. Like, I thought one of my biggest criticisms of the second movie is that the dialogue of the teenagers is a little cringy, but at the same time they are teenagers, you know, but still it kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. That was my biggest critique of the second one. But But still, the fact that it just came straight from his heart. It's just his creative vision. I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. Yeah, but the thing is with Project Hail Mary, it is very accessible. You're right. But it has a different goal. And I would say that Rocky is still a very accessible alien creature to a wide audience because he can talk in a way that we are, as an audience, are able to understand because of the translation software. Plus, he still acts like an Earth creature. He still has the body language of something that is understandable to us. He does a little dance. He waves. He runs around and plays and stomps when he's angry, stuff like that. That is still very Earth-like behavior that is accessible to a wide audience. He is an alien creature and does a lot of really interesting different things, but he is still understandable in body language to us as humans. So I would still argue that he is accessible because of that. And it's also not a romance story. So... I agree, Oscar, also. Yeah, they are saying bro in their own language. So it's probably just something that they say a lot in Na'vi. Exactly. Project Hail Mary is a bromance. And some people also see it as I would say a general audience can also somewhat interpret it as like a cute animal movie kind of thing, even though I would argue that it's not, Rocky is not any form an animal. I think our human lizard brain also kind of still interprets him that way, even though he's a fully sentient being. He's not an animal. But I think Rocky's design and movement still sort of appeals to lizard brain, cute animal type of stuff. And again, there is nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just saying that something truly alien would have a body language that is indecipherable to us, I suppose. But it would be really hard to make a movie around that kind of thing, you know? Like, how do you... No, I haven't seen... What was it? What was that movie? The Arrival? The movie where there's this scientist that's trying to translate an alien language. I have not seen that movie, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that does feel like the kind of movie where it's a little more... like truly alien. But even then, I assume in the movie she does manage to crack their language. So them having a language that can be understood at all by humans is still somewhat personifying. I don't know, man. Yeah, you'll get what I'm talking about. Whatever. But yeah, I would argue that the Na'vi and Rocky are both, I guess, personified or human-like in different ways and accessible in different ways, and are used differently in their stories to justify things differently. Anyway. And they're both quite successful, in my opinion. I like both movies quite a bit. Yeah, I really should watch The Arrival. Interesting. Like I said, I'll have to give it a watch because it looks pretty cool. Marcus, you're right. I would say that that's a good comparison. That's a good way to put it. I would say also the fact that the RDA is able to dehumanize a species that already looks so human is part of the message of the movie. The way that even we as humans are able to dehumanize something that is literally human. So having the Na'vi look very animalistic, I think, would actually take away a little bit from the message and the point that even something so human can be dehumanized. I find the Dances with Smurfs argument kind of stupid too. Like, oh, so does that mean we can't make any more revenge movies because John Wick already did that? The Smurfs pit doesn't even make sense to me. It's just because they're blue? So what, you suddenly can't have a blue alien or blue creature anymore without it being a ripoff? You are not allowed to make another story that is like this, ever. Even if a lot of stuff about it is completely different. You are not allowed to make another story inspired by Romeo and Juliet. You are not allowed to make a Hamlet-inspired story. That's why The Lion King sucks. The Lion King sucks, because it's just Hamlet. It's Lion Hamlet. It's so unoriginal. It's a bad movie. Huh. Oh, you know what? I'm missing this part right here that helps add to the kind of messiness of the hair. Hold on. Let me fix that. I feel like sculpting this hair is going to take a while just because I'm not exactly sure what I want. So... Well, Blue Spirited Dragon, I do think part of it is just a LARP. Like, literally, they're just having fun with that idea. They're just LARPing as kind of, like, Helldivers 2 kind of thing. So I wouldn't take all of that Humanity First stuff super seriously. Some of them take it way too far, though. So, you know. Some of it's just for fun. Wouldn't Deacon have a cross-like artifact or whatever your equivalent is since his dad is a preacher? The equivalent is a chain crown necklace. I don't know if... I was debating whether he should have one or not. just because I feel like it would clash a little bit with his outfit, because he's already wearing a tie. But I was thinking I might have it coming out of his pocket, like a chain, or maybe coming across here from one buttonhole to the other, or maybe down here. Something like a watch chain, I'm thinking of, potentially. So, we'll see. Yeah, not just Helldivers, but also Warhammer. To get, I don't know. You know, it starts to get weird sometimes, how far some people take it. Ultimately, if there are aliens out there, and they are creatures made by God, then we want to treat them with God's love, I would say. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ways that a whole bunch of kinds of things aliens could be. The fact is, we just don't know. We just don't know what they are. Would aliens be hostile to us? If so, then yeah, I would say we would want to protect ourselves. But are they civilizations that are similar to ours? If so, we want to try to be diplomatic. I don't know. The thing is, we just don't know. We don't know if or how they exist. See, the thing that's interesting about Avatar is that it's a reverse alien invasion movie. So, if you asked those humanity first guys, hey, if this was a War of the Worlds scenario, and these aliens are coming down and bombing our planet and killing our planet and taking all of our planet's resources, then would you say we were justified in fighting back? And they and I would both say, yes, obviously, you are justified in fighting back. And then you show them Avatar, and it's like, well, then aren't the Na'vi justified in fighting back? Because they are being invaded by aliens who are killing their people and bombing their cities and destroying their planet. Are they not justified in defending themselves? And they'll be like, no, because we're the humans, so we get to do whatever we want. And I'm like, okay, great. I don't think I can even argue with you at this point. Like, what do you even say to that? I agree too, Ziggurat. The people... I agree with that too, yeah, the way... I don't know. I love the Fire Na'vis. They are so cool. And I love the way that they came to be as well. It's very interesting stuff. I love it. Again, I do have some issues with those movies, but I overall just adore them. All I can say, I just adore them. I just love how much care and love and craft went into building the world, and I love the characters, and I love the designs and the art and the animation, and I love the acting for the most part. Unfortunately, Spider's actor is not the best, but I don't know how much I can really blame him, because he was like 15 years old and he was in a blue screen environment with nobody else to really act off of, so it kind of makes sense why his performance kind of sucks. He's just sitting there at 15 years old on a blue screen, acting to himself. Poor guy. I don't know what they really could have done to prevent that, though. I also don't like the acting of the general lady in the second and third movies. I think she's kind of corny, personally. But those are my only two acting nitpicks, I guess. Oh, sounds like Mowgli in 2016 Jungle Book, yeah. I don't remember him being, it's been a long time since I've watched that movie, though, so... maybe he was also so young that maybe you don't register it as much as being quote-unquote bad. I own the Frontiers of Pandora game, and I've started it. I wasn't really liking the story very much, or at least I wasn't really liking the writing of the dialogue very much, so I haven't really continued with it. But I do want to play it more just for the sake of exploring Pandora. All I can say is that some of the dialogue so far feels very Reddit core. It feels very, this is a Ubisoft game. We're gonna have the most bland dialogue possible in our video game. But that's all I know so far. I guess the thing about Spider is that because you register him as a child actor when I'm watching the movie, so when I see him acting pretty badly in a scene, it sort of sets off the immersion breaking receptors in my brain more than he would if he was like 10 years old or something. If he's 10 years old and he's not acting super well, it doesn't always, you know, set off the immersion breaking stuff, but when he's like 15, then yeah, it does start to set off immersion breaking synapses in my brain. If that makes sense. Hey, I'm not talking about the early Assassin's Creed here, yeah. I'm talking about recent Ubisoft. Ubislop. There was like one human character that you meet early on in the Frontiers of Pandora game who's one of the most annoying. Like, you immediately hear her talking all quirky and awkward, and I'm like, oh god, not this character. She's gonna annoy me, isn't she? Like, whoopsie. Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm just so awkward and quirky. Get out of my face. I want to go hunting on Pandora. I don't want to talk to you. I agree, Ziggurat. I agree. Anybody who's played like the first hour of that game knows probably who I'm talking about. When you reach the first Pandora human like scientist settlement. Ugh. She's what put me off from playing more. Well, not really. I just haven't had the time to play more because I've been playing other games, but I'll get back to it at some point and probably completely ignore her. So I get to have fun riding around on my Ikran. I do need to finish Breaking Bad. Okay, let's make some more bangs on the side of the face. Celestial, I think it just depends on what you mean by that. Do you mean by writing chapters before you finish illustrating the previous ones, or do you mean before you finish writing the previous ones? Because if it's before you finish illustrating the previous ones, that's completely normal to continue writing stuff that's ahead. In fact, it's usually a very good thing to do that. But if you mean you want to write future chapters before you finish writing current chapters, that could be a problem. That could be a problem. I would say it's not a problem if it's more about outlining stuff that's going to happen, but making the kind of first draft of something, of a later chapter, before you finish the first draft of a previous chapter can be difficult for you. Because our brains are very linear things. So when we do stuff that's out of a linear order, it can make us forget certain things that we've already written, or I don't know, man. I don't know. You do what fits you, but for me personally, I don't like to do that. It also forces me to finish something before I get to what I want to do next, I guess. I need to have that pressure to finish it. So I don't just write all the good parts that I want to write. Yeah, technically having a hairstyle this messy in a boarding school probably would not cut it, but, we're having fun. We would get told off by the headmaster. I might clean it up in the back a little more. Oh, Oscar says, I feel like I've been stuck in editor's jail for 3 years. Damn. Yeah, that always sucks. I have not played Into the Woods before. Well, I wish you luck with that, Oscar. That does not sound fun, but it's the process we all gotta go through, I guess. But it still sucks. Oh, and the fact that you've learned so much, oh, that is so helpful, isn't it? Oh, are we talking about I think we're talking about the game Into the Woods, not the movie. I have seen the movie and I did not like it, personally. I've heard that the play version is much better. but I cannot attest to that because I have not seen the play. What did I just do? What the heck? Oh, I pressed the wrong brush. It was just so dour. That's what I didn't like about the Into the Woods movie. It was so depressing. Like, I came away after watching it just feeling sad and depressed. So I did not enjoy it. The second act, I think, was what... I enjoyed the first act a lot, but did not like the second act. Hello, Lowest Expectations. Welcome in. What am I playing right now? Oh, game-wise or the music that I'm playing? Because the music I'm currently playing is Nancy Drew Dark Academia music mix. But as for video games, I haven't really been playing many games this week. I've just been so busy. I'm still working on Mouse PI, but I haven't been able to play it. I've just been, in the evenings, I've been reading a lot recently, as well as just hanging out with friends and, you know, Mother's Day and hanging out with people, which has been quite fun. Actually, I've been watching one of my friends play a Nancy Drew game, so that's been fun. Speaking of Nancy Drew. But yeah, I need to finish Mouse PI. That's the one I'm still on. What I've been reading recently is Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. I've talked about Darcy before on my stream, that she's a horror thriller author that I like to read. And the most recent book of hers I've been reading is Dead of Winter, which is a horror novel that is set in a tiny cabin that 8 different winter vacation travelers end up getting stuck in. So it's very, you know, claustrophobic, and then some of them start dying and they have to figure out who's the killer, that kind of thing. Oh, hello. Welcome to the chat, Luna ta 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 ta. Welcome. They say it's so mesmerizing to watch you sculpt because you make it look so effortless. Well, thank you. Trust me though, it's not effortless. But the fact that it looks that way is encouraging. So, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. One of the reasons I was so I guess hesitant to start streaming again was because I didn't think anybody would actually find it very entertaining to watch. So when I get comments like that, it's very encouraging. Thank you. Also, I'm not the best at speaking on stream. I stutter a lot. I forget words all the time. So I'm hoping the fact that I'm doing these helps me improve at that, and I get better at talking live and expressing my thoughts. I mean, part of it too is that I'm literally doing two things at the same time, so sometimes it's hard to talk when I'm also doing something very mentally taxing in sculpting, so that could be part of it. Ziggurat asks, do you find first-person books easier to read? No, not really. I honestly do not care about the perspective that a book is in, as long as it serves the story. Excuse me. As long as it serves the story. First person, third person, I just don't care. Whatever is fine. The book I'm currently reading, Dead of Winter, is in first person. And it does make you wonder, oh, I guess this main character is not going to die before the end. Though you never know. Sometimes first-person horror stories do some interesting stuff with it. And just because our main character probably doesn't die doesn't mean there isn't going to be some bad stuff that happens to her. Death isn't the only way to punish a character. I don't want to spoil what happens in the book, but some pretty interesting stuff is happening. Project Seltzer says, I showed a friend one of the streams of you sculpting, and he was surprised how much progress you made on stream. That's good to know. I feel like it's taking me forever to do this hair, but again, it's probably because I didn't have a super solid idea of what I wanted to do with his hair. Maybe the MC is unreliable and they are the murderer, dot dot dot. Yeah, I've definitely seen some kind of no-sleep stories that do something like that, which can be fun twists. I feel like we're not going to be able to really understand what's going on unless, well, how he really looks, unless I give him his glasses. Because the glasses really change the face a lot. Luna ta 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 says, I'm really glad you streamed though. I try to watch the VOD since I'm learning to sculpt in Nomad, so it really helps. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad they're able to actually help. And not just kind of sit there not doing anything, you know? So I'm glad that they actually help, and I wish you luck on your sculpting journey. Sculpting can be so intimidating at the start, especially because even for professional sculptors, sculpting always looks bad at the start. Like, it's not like sketching where it can look pretty good pretty quickly. Sculpting always looks ugly for a while. And so when you're beginning sculpting, it's hard to know if what you're doing is actually good or not. Or if you're even on the right track or not. So, all that's to say, good luck and have fun. Alright, I'm going to give him his glasses real quick, so I'm gonna open up a Blender. I'm going to open up Blender. Where are his glasses? Where are they? Here? No? Wait, where are his glasses? What? Hold on. Armature, no. That's a book. Ah, here we go. Okay. That's a pencil. Ah, there we go. There are the glasses. There is Blender, so you lied about lying? Oh my gosh, it's a double lie. I can't believe it. Because I'm not able to see, see-through transparency in ZBrush, though, I'm going to change these glasses a little bit. I'm actually gonna cut out. Oh, wait, it's already cut out. Hold on. Oh, what is going on? Stop it. I'm gonna delete the frames or the glass. Oh, wrong button. There we go. I'm gonna export this out. Alright. Now let's import in those glasses. Ah, where did they go? Oh my goodness. What happened to the rest of his body? What the heck? Sorry, I am not super familiar with ZBrush, so I don't know what just happened. I imported it and then everything disappeared. I'm just gonna restart. Sorry. I don't know what happened. It like replaced the whole model. ZBrush pisses me off. There's so much I'm still having to figure out with this stupid program. Okay, how should I do this? Maybe import as a tool, maybe? Oh, hello, did somebody just subscribe? Mac Easy just subscribed. Thank you so much. No mesh is imported, but it was... Okay, hold on. Import polygroups. I don't know. I don't know any of this. Okay. Let's try loading tool. No, that doesn't work. I don't know, guys. I don't know how to do this. I don't have time to look it up. I'm just gonna do something quick and dirty. I'm just going to make some quick and dirty glasses that I can just use to see if this hairstyle is looking good with his glasses. Mac Easy says, first time joining, everything looks great. I love listening to people work while I animate. Hey, welcome in. Hope you enjoy the show. I always love seeing new people here. What are you working on animating, if I may ask? I hate having technical issues on stream. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. Okay, let's save before this bugs out. It didn't do anything. 1 second. That didn't do anything either. Yep, and it crashed the whole program. Great. I'm just trying to make him some glasses. Is that too much to ask? Every time I use the darn knife tool, it feels like it crashes my computer every time. Guys, do you see why Blender is better? See, maybe that's why I have the stream titled Blender. Because Blender is the actual cool thing. ZBrush doesn't deserve any credit. Okay, we're just gonna do this for now. What? Why is it not? Okay. There we go. Blender's my favorite art program. It never hurts me. Blender will never harm you. It will never betray you. Blender is like a loyal dog that is always at your side. ZBrush, you know what ZBrush is? ZBrush is a horse that panics over nothing and bucks you off of the saddle. Blender is a loyal dog who always works reliably and well, even if you don't always understand it. And ZBrush is a temperamental horse that gets scared over every little thing. But if you do get that horse to work, it's the best horse around. And can help you achieve all of your farming needs when it decides to work. I can't believe I had to model the glasses again. This is just a temporary model though. It's literally just for looks. It's not how his glasses are, it's not his actual glasses model. It's just to show me if the hairstyle looks okay when he's wearing glasses. And looks good with his glasses design. And it actually looks like him. So these are just rough glasses. Mac Easy says, I tried to learn ZBrush a couple times, but every single hotkey is wrong, and I didn't want to rewire my brain over it. Oh my goodness, I know exactly what you mean. Oh gosh, ZBrush is terrible when it comes to the hotkeys. They're just all feel completely different from every other program I've ever learned, and that was, to me, the most intimidating thing about learning ZBrush. Was the hotkeys. And the way the workspace even works is just crazy. I don't understand. Luna says, oh, I never thought of the glasses hugging the nose, but it makes sense since they don't have human ears. Yeah. They would have to hug the nose a little bit. And the way I imagine the glasses work, by the way, is that it kind of has a strap in the back. Either that, or it just sort of has kind of rubber. It just goes on a little longer around there, and maybe has some kind of rubber, or maybe even some comb-like ends that secure itself inside the hair or something. That's the way I imagine it anyway. There might be different kinds of glasses depending on the person and what they find most comfortable. But I would assume a lot of them might just kind of end here, and then maybe there's some kind of strap or wire that goes across to the other one. I don't know. In any case, yeah, they wouldn't just be normal human glasses, because they don't have the same ears. After learning Blender, your brain just expects certain things. Standards are too high now. True. Okay, now we're done with the silly little temporary glasses. Oh, I might bend this down a little bit. I don't know. Okay. So basically they're kind of like goggles. Yeah, pretty much. What about magnetization? Well, I guess if somebody was very dedicated, they could implant little magnets under their skin to secure the glasses onto. Some people might do that. Aren't there certain medical devices that work by implanting a magnet under the skin and then securing it on the magnet over the skin? You know what? Now that I've got the glasses on, I'm liking the hairstyle a little more. Now it actually feels more like Deacon. Do pacemakers do that? He's looking a little bit like Clark Kent here. For programming, I think. Huh, interesting. But yeah, if someone really needed glasses their whole lives, they might just do that, where they have a little magnet implanted into the skin. Mac Easy says, my old English teacher had a screw in his kneecap. When he flexed, he could stick magnets to it. Oh, that's fun. I think a lot of old people love having parlor tricks like that. You know? Like, hey, look what I can do with my knee. You know, I mean, you might have had to spend $1 billion on this surgery, but at least I can get something fun out of it to show the grandkids and the students. Alright. Now, I need to figure out what I'm going to do on this side with the bangs. Have they invented contact lenses yet? I think they have, but maybe they're a little slow to catch on, or I don't know. Depends on the person. It didn't cost him an arm and a leg. That's good. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kind of turning him around trying to figure out what I want to do next. Okay. Is it weird to say he looks like a Barbie movie character right now? He kind of does. That's not a bad thing. He kind of looks like Nerdy Ken. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what to do over here right now. He looks so much like his dad. I think I'm gonna have to clean it up a little back here. It almost feels a little too much like he would definitely get called out at school for that, for having that much rough at the back. And I feel like I do that too much on some of my male characters. Like Bradley has that, and the Bard has that. I'll probably make it a little smaller. I just like having the ruff in the back. It's fun. The scruff. But I don't want to reuse that design element too many times. I feel like Deacon's the type of kid that would take very good care of his, what's the word? Self-grooming, I guess. Like, he would be very clean and take care of himself, but he just doesn't get haircuts super often. He's too focused on his work care about getting much of a haircut. Yeah, it's bordering too much on a mullet, I think you're right. Mac Easy says, wow, I just checked one of your devlog videos and your texture work is amazing. Reminds me of a little of World of Warcraft or Wizard 101. Thank you very much. And you have caught on one of my inspirations there. World of Warcraft and League of Legends texture painting stuff is basically what I do best. At least I hope so. And Wizard 101, that's also a really fun comparison. Mac Easy, may I ask how you found this stream? I am curious where thou hast come from. In fact, any newcomers around here, you can let me know how you got to this stream. Maybe from the back hair, just a little smaller peaks. Oh, you mean like make these a little shorter? Like the little locks, make them a little shorter, perhaps? I definitely do want there to be a little scruffiness back here because it's a mirror of his dad's design a little bit. But yeah, I don't want it to just be straight up a mullet because again, that would just not make sense in this kind of school. Mac Easy says, I was animating in semi-silence, scrubbing the timeline, and I wanted to watch a Blender artist live, and you're the only one with Blender in the title. I'm so sorry I'm not actually in Blender right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, you weren't here, but Mac, at the start of the stream, I was like, oh, guys, by the way, I just realized I have Blender in the title, but I'm in ZBrush right now, so I'm sorry I lied to you. And then you actually came here because I accidentally did not change Blender in the title. So that is very funny to me. Welcome. Maybe it was fate. Maybe it was I made that mistake because the purpose was to bring you here. Welcome in. I'm sorry. Usually I am in Blender. Or in 3D Coat, doing texturing. But technically it's not a complete lie because I was in Blender for a few seconds there. Thank you, Meg. Are you animating in Blender right now? See, I was in Blender last week, and that's why the title is the way it is. It's last week's title. And I thought I was going to be in Blender more, but it turns out sculpting his hair is taking a lot longer than I thought. That's what I call clickbait. True, true. I can't believe it. The YouTube search algorithm is actually working for once. And actually showing you a video that has what you're looking for in the title. Have any of y'all noticed the YouTube search algorithm really sucking lately? It just keeps showing you recommended videos. Mac Easy says, of course, don't know if you know this about me, but I love Blender. Well, you've come to the right place. We all stand Blender on this channel. Oh, well, so you're right. It's not quite lately. It's been going on for months, hasn't it? It's so bad. YouTube search is really, really bad right now. I can't believe how much they've butchered it. I don't know. I don't want to see recommended videos from my homepage. I want to see what I searched for. Literally, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Okay, this is looking a lot better. He doesn't look like as much of a mullet anymore. What do you guys think? I do want a little bit to stick out at the front so that it's not completely invisible. For those of you who don't know, by the way, one of my inspirations for Deacon's design was Chris from Until Dawn. He pretty much shares nothing in common with Chris except his design. But if you've watched my devlogs, you probably know that. He was one of my favorite characters in that game. He was cool. He was a little cringe at first, but, you know, he really pulled through by the end. Everybody in that game is a little cringe at first, but I think that's part of the whole deal. It starts as a cringy teen movie, and then it turns into a fun horror movie. I love Until Dawn. That is such a fun movie game. I think the most impressive thing about Until Dawn is that it gets you to root for characters you would never have thought you would have rooted for. I think a lot of that comes down to the interactivity of it. When you're watching a horror movie and there's this unlikable B-word type character, you just can't wait to see her die, right? But suddenly, when you are the one that is taking control of that character, and you are the one in whose hands is her life or death, and you get to see her, you get to be the one, like, scrambling for survival as that character, it suddenly kind of changes, I think, a lot of your sort of opinion of that character. And yes, I am talking about, Emily? Was Emily the really B-word character in Until Dawn? You kind of, the more you play them as her, the more you realize how smart she actually is and how interesting of a character she actually is. And the interactivity really enhances your attachment to her, I think, even if at the start of the game you would have wanted her to die. It's fascinating. Like, suddenly she's in a survival situation, and she's actually very capable and intelligent in said situation. Sort of changes your idea of who you thought she was, I guess. Max says, when I searched up Blender, every other live was no joke Roblox brain rot content labeled as Blender. Oh my goodness. That sucks. At least even though I'm kind of technically lying, I am still doing 3D content. But as a treat, let me show you my Blender file for this character. Here's the Blender file for this dude so far. Since you're new here, I'll let you know this character already had a previous design, and this stream I'm making his updated model with his updated design. So right next to him is the main character of the game, Judith, and I have her here as a size reference. And yeah, that's his old hair. Here's his old hair. It's so basic, so simple. One of the reasons I wanted to redesign him was so that he would look like more of an actual character and not just an NPC. This is, oh, well, that's his old outfit. Anyway, there's my Blender file. Now Blender has been on screen for at least a minute. Alright. And then this is the new design that I'm working on, with his new hair and all that. Oh, I really need to watch Cabin in the Woods. Yeah. For sure. I've heard a lot of good things about that one. I just have never gotten around to watching it. Okay, back to modeling. Fun fact, the guy who directed Cabin in the Woods is the same guy who wrote the screenplay for Project Hail Mary. Interesting. I did not know that. Who's the pink character? Oh, that's Judith Hovern, the main character of Noiramore Academy. One second, I'll show you her real quick. So our game is a mystery adventure game. And the main... Oh, what is going on here? Hold on. It's showing me her old model. One second. Here we go. Our game is called Noiramore Academy, and it is a mystery adventure game a la Nancy Drew or some of those old point-and-click adventure games like Monkey Island. So it's a point-and-click adventure game that is also very escape room-like. So if you've ever played an escape room, it's very inspired by that kind of stuff. So the art style is super inspired by League of Legends and World of Warcraft texture style, painting styles, and also fashion doll brands like Monster High and gothic art like Tim Burton, Series of Unfortunate Events kind of thing. Judith's getting a remodel? Oh no, when I said old model, I meant I meant her grown-up model that I made a while back. So yeah, we're making an old school adventure game, escape room game, but it's like third person. Judith's perfect already. Maybe. I have altered her texture and her certain other things, like her ears. But you know what? Hold on. I really gotta show you guys something that I've been thinking about. I need to get your opinion on this. I need everybody's opinion on this. Let me open up her Blender file real quick. There we go. Thank you, Mac. Really appreciate it. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me... Rah! She's unbelieving. I have so many animations here. Actually, I need to redo her running animation. I don't like it. Anyway, let me go back to T-pose. Thanks so much, Mac. Let me import something real quick. Okay, maybe this is the wrong way of going about it. Hold on. Yes, I am animating all this too. Okay, here's her gothic outfit. Where did I put... Ah, here we go. Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. I want to hide this one and hide... Okay. And now... Sorry, this is taking so long. There we go. What do you guys think if this is her permanent hair? I am seriously considering it. I think this hair looks a lot better. Because it's newer modeled and it looks... I don't know. I just like the bangs on her too. What if this is Judith's new hair? Straight up. I love it. It's so cute. Maybe I'll have to take a vote on this. It doesn't matter if it's the outfit hair. The whole thing of the outfit is that it's the outfit, you know? It's so cute, but I'm not used to seeing it. That is fair. That is fair. Hold on, I'm trying to get some nice screenshot. Can we swap back to old, see it side by side? Good point, good point. I'm gonna put a screenshot. And if that doesn't mean, you know, the old hairstyle is gonna be completely gone. I'd have to give her another hair for that outfit? Nah, no I wouldn't. Cause the only reason I gave her new hair for that outfit is because the old hair didn't fit it. I would probably still give her the little barrette, though. I'm making a poll on my Discord right now. Okay, guys, I just put in my Discord server, I just put a poll in the Flutterstars chat. So, if you want to vote on this, go to the Discord server. Let me go ahead and do this. Hold on. Oops, wrong one. And then what if I took this? Obviously, it'd probably be a little different, but... I'd probably, you know, make her a different hair clip, by the way. I don't think I like her it being square. It doesn't really fit with the rest of her shape language. Balding. Why do you gotta divide the fan base like this? It's dividing the fan base. Oh my god. Hashtag not my Judith. Oh my god, guys, but the bangs are so cute. Not our first controversy. Mac says, see, Mac is unbiased here because Mac does not know the lore or the Mac does not have the bias of looking at this Judith 24/7. So I'm trusting Mac's opinion a little bit here, you know? The bangs of the first one with the face framing of the second one. Huh. I could try that. Okay, hold on. I think the stream is back. Hello? Hello, everybody. Welcome back in. Welcome back. Okay, I'm gonna try something. Let's try... Let's try something like this. Oh, God! Ugh! Hold on. What if I did this? I think one of the things I don't like is I don't really like the old bangs. I just don't like how asymmetrical they are. They're just a little too asymmetrical for my taste these days. Okay, let's try... Oh, Mac Easy says, what scale are these characters going to be? They're going to be third person like this on the screen, basically. Think about... Well, or more like this. This is going to be the camera angle we're looking at them a lot of the time. Okay, let's try something else. Now let's try the opposite. Now let's try this with the new bangs. You're right that the shading isn't matching. I'd have to retexture the hair. Okay, there's old hair with new bangs. And this asymmetrical bangs speak to her inner turmoil, though. But I don't know. They just look kind of bad to me. Like, this is old. This is old, and it sucks. Everything old sucks, guys. Only things that are new are good, by the way. I would want to touch up the back of this one, though, because it's too symmetrical in the back. Look at our lineup here. I just like these bangs so much more. I don't know. You like the old one from the back better? I mean, I think you're right, straight up. Because this one is meant to have a hat over it. So it's too symmetrical. I'm gonna save this as a new file. But Max says, I think the new bangs with that swirl on the left bang would be the best of both worlds. Interesting. I like that. Reed Dorian says, what I like about the old one is that it looks more mischievous and playful, and the new one looks more put together. Interesting. The old bangs have more personality, the new one is more polished. Interesting. The last option looks really nice. Yeah, I don't know if I could have them swap the hair and bangs separately. That would take kind of a lot of work that I'm not really planning to put into that system. But I definitely am going to let people choose hair and stuff. Obviously, I'm going to have to fix this up too. That's not right. But I think... Oh, let me take a screenshot of this one and put it in the chat. Nor would Judith. Emo bangs when. In any case, her hair does need to be retextured, even if I keep the old model. Oh, I love the new bangs, okay? I love the new bangs. I'm sorry. Maybe it's because I have bangs and my sister has bangs. But, it's speaking to me. And it matches her mama. One second. Let me show you her mama. Oh, come on. Work. Ingro's always wanted to give Judith bangs. She just didn't have the technology ever at the time. Now we're making those kind of arguments, eh? We're making the Final Fantasy VII Remake arguments. I think having them both have bangs, I get, yeah, she wouldn't want to look like her mom, necessarily, but I think her mom would cut Judith's hair, you know? Or her mom would get Judith's hair cut. And just still... It could be kind of an unintentional mirroring, you know? Oh, hold on. You're making George Lucas comparisons? Oh, that makes sense too. Yeah. I just realized that she's getting blocked by my avatar. Sorry. Judith's mom is gorgeous. Thank you. I'm really happy with how her mom turned out. Interesting. Maybe I'll just make a completely new hairstyle. That's the best of both worlds. It's the best of both worlds. I don't know. Maybe add some extra curl in the bangs. Similar face shapes and hair textures tend to have similar haircuts. Yes, exactly. Now I'm just rage baiting. Oh no. I'm not rage baiting. I just really don't like this, okay? I've grown as an artist, okay? I don't like this. It just looks, I don't know, to me it just doesn't fit her. I feel like Judith does care about how she looks. And she would want to put effort into her appearance. Dorian says option 4 is growing on me now. Maybe more bounce in the bangs. Interesting idea. Let me try this. Let me duplicate and hide. Let me try just sculpting them around a bit and see what y'all think. What if they were a little bit asymmetrical like this? I don't know. Someone said adding some more bounce to them. I feel like I know what you mean, but I also don't. I feel like she's the main character. I feel like having this goofy ad bangs just doesn't work. I don't know. Take the original bangs, her mom's, and then ruffle them like she doesn't like them. That would work, but the mom's bangs, I feel like that's already what I did here, you know? Okay, what if I did something like this? Where I like added more of a ruffle to it, more of a curvature. Of course, now there's not enough polygons to really do that, so I'd have to add some polys, but... I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily working out either. I might just have to make brand new bangs, you know. I'm also still don't really like how these look. Even if I did re-texture this, I'm not sure how good it would look. I feel like I want to take this and then redo this bit at the back so it's not symmetrical. Cannibalize different parts of the model. Anyway, it's something to think about. But my point is, I really don't like this anymore. This, to me, I don't like it. I don't like it. I like this. But I will keep the old hairstyle in the game as an optional option for those that want it. And with that, let's head back to Deacon. I'm actually surprised that y'all were so that y'all didn't like it that much. And that's why it's good for me to hear your opinions, because it helps me to get a different opinion. I guess it's also because I'm just changing everybody else's designs to be more in line with my current design sensibilities. Bright Eyes says, it's honestly giving when an artist stares and works on something too long, they start hating it. Sorry, I asked to see Blender. Feels like we went on a side quest. No, I'm glad we did this. I was just gonna do this in like a poll or something. I am so glad that we did this live because it was very funny to see all your reactions. Very fun to see all his reactions. Of course, but she's the main character, so it's understandable that people would have opinions. So it's very fun seeing the opinions. And thank you very much, Mac, for your opinions as well. This was very fun. Okay, I'm listening to you guys. Don't worry, I'm listening. There is gonna be changes, but I'm gonna try to keep them tasteful. Hopefully in a way that makes me and you happy. Oh, Mac, I hope you enjoyed the devlogs. Again, thanks for dropping in. It's always so cool to get new people in here because it's hard getting it's hard building an audience for this kind of stream, I think. So having and the kind of random way you came in here is crazy. I love it. So thank you for joining us. YouTube search actually working for once. What if the original style was kept with a more detailed texture? See, that's what I'm thinking of trying. I'm thinking that I might just try updating the texture and see how I feel about it. And if I'm still not happy with it, I might make some more changes. So, maybe I'll do a... Oh, OBS is disconnecting and reconnecting. Yuck. I like how I tagged everyone on Discord and it's like, important poll! How do you feel about Judith's hair? And then apparently everybody is getting very passionate about this. I love it. Damn! People love her old hair. I really didn't know that you guys liked her old hair that much. This is a surprise to me. I love democracy. I love the Republic. Meanwhile, I changed Deacon and everyone's like, yeah, good. Good change. I'm glad though. That sort of shows me where I'm hallucinating and where I'm not. I wasn't hallucinating the fact that Deacon needed a redesign. But apparently I'm partially hallucinating Judith needing one. Oh, hello. New subscriber. Wait, the alert already went away. Did somebody subscribe? In any case, if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. Max says, I followed you on Instagram. If I shared a video on my story, would you choose a model video, the introduction video? Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Feel free to share whatever video you feel like is the most engaging and interesting. I am too biased in my own work to know for sure what the outside world would find the most interesting, I suppose. But thank you very much. He definitely looks a lot older than his original design. Yeah, that's fair, because again, I already said this last stream, but just to repeat, I do want him to look a little older. I want him to look like he started to go through puberty, because like, when guys get to, I don't know. I don't know. I just didn't want him to look the same as everybody else on his grade, you know? That's the long and short of it. Because sometimes when guys are 13, they're starting to get voice cracks and all of that. Other times they're not. It just depends on the dude. I didn't want every dude to look like he was the exact same stage of life, I guess. Because that's just so similar to each other. I also want to vary up the heights of the girls as well. Will Nicholas get a slight age lift? Yes. I think Nicholas does not look like a 13-year-old. He looks too young right now. I'm not going to give him a whole remodel like I'm giving Deacon or anything, but I am going to change up some of his proportions. And also his horns need to be changed to look more reindeer-like. So, he needed a model change anyway. I feel like I'm taking so long on his hair, but his hair is very important, so just go with the flow, Anya, go with the flow. So on this side, they're going back. On this side, they're going forward. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I feel like that could work. Kind of a fun, asymmetrical way. You know what? No. No. The girls also look a bit younger than 13. Yeah. But that's also because of the art style, I'd say. The art style being more cutesy. They're also pretty short for being 13 too, but I just chalk it up to art style mixed with maybe that's just how this species matures. After all, in Gravity Falls, Dipper does not actually look 12 years old. He is the size of a 6-year-old. But Deacon is a Chad. Deacon is a Chad. Chad Chud. Me and my Chud son. Deacon is my Chud son. Depending on how old the character is, I do prefer guys voicing young boys than girls, personally. Maybe it's just because I've been doing voice acting and have experience with the industry a little bit. I'm not claiming I have real experience in the industry, but having relatives that were in the industry, I don't know, it just kind of bothers me. Depending on the art style, it bothers me. Something about your 1920s style character saying Chud struck me as odd. Fair. Fair.
Hey guys, it's me, Ink Rose. This is my Chud son. Skibbity toilet. 6'7". Am I cool with the Gen Alpha now?
I sound like Luffy. Skibbity toilet made me wince. I don't think kids even like Skibbity toilet anymore. I don't know.
I need to look smacks. Right now.
Do you think Deacon would be do you think Deacon would be into bone mashing? Yeah, Judith, you just have to like hammer your face over and over and it'll totally make you look like more of a Chad. Deacon is mewing every day. Mewing is not even the strategy anymore. Now it's bone smashing. Mewing is out, bone smashing is in. Deacon explains bone smashing.
Hey guys, it's me, Deacon from Noramore Academy. Today we're gonna talk about bone smashing.
Oh, sorry, wait, I forgot his accent.
Hello everyone, it's me, Deacon from Noramore Academy.
Today we're going to talk about bone smashing.
If you want to follow me for more lifestyle tips and look-smaxing tricks, make sure to like and subscribe.
Bright eyes in the chat. What is bone smashing?
Hello, Judith. Do you want a bone smash?
Oh, that sounds bad. Oh my god. Bone smashing. Oh my god, why did I say it? Okay, bone smashing is apparent, like, okay. It's when you use, like, this little hammer on your face, on the bones around your face, like your jawline and your cheekbones, and it's supposed to, supposedly, like, I don't even know how to describe it. You know how when you work out, your muscles are technically, like, destroying themselves a little bit? Like, they're tearing, and then they rebuild themselves, and that's how building muscle works.
The idea of bone smashing is that you smash your bones in your face a little bit, and apparently they're supposed to grow back thicker and stronger, so that way you can give yourself more of a jawline and more of a cheekbone line. But I don't think bones work like that. Bones are not muscles, so I don't think this seems like extreme pseudoscience to me. And yes, people are apparently doing this. Something to do with, like, clavicular or something. Anyway, that's what bone mashing is. It's literally hammering your face. I am not sure about the science on that one. Not sure. The science does not check out. Yeah. I don't think bones work like muscles. Even then, you don't just mash your muscles with a hammer to get them stronger. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You stopped paying attention at the wrong time. Did you just come in to hear me talking about people smashing their faces with hammers to try to get Chad jawlines? What's funny about all this looks maxing stuff is it is really just the male version of those early 2000s female ridiculous beauty trends that said, like, oh, you can get thinner by doing this and this, and it's just like the most pseudoscience garbage you've ever heard in your life. So looks maxing guys are just doing the same exact kind of stuff that women have been doing for many, many years. And it's all a trap. It's all a trap to make you feel terrible about yourself. So don't fall into it. There are perfectly reasonable scientific ways to try to improve yourself and improve your health and improve your body, and looks maxing is not one of them. Don't fall into the trap. Love yourself and improve your body in the right ways. There's better ways to use a hammer. True! And Deacon would agree with you. See, wait, guys, look! Here's the hammer that he uses for bone smashing. There it is, guys. But yes, Deacon uses that hammer for building cool stuff like tree houses. It's canon. Oh my god. You can build stuff like tree houses, you know, the real things that 13-year-olds should be doing. But keep in mind, the same people that say you should bone smash are also the same people that say meth is the best way to look skinny. So that tells you a little bit about, about the intelligence factor there. I knew I should have stayed home today. The kids should be in tree houses, not worrying about their looks. I'm totally mogging this guy. Huh, my name's Deacon, and I'm totally mogging this guy. Height maxing. Hello, Mr. Nebula. Welcome to the chat. You've come at an interesting time. We were just talking about bone smashing. Max says, are you doing everything in this game? Coding too? No. I cannot take credit for that. Here, let me actually show you the team. This is our website. And this is the team. This is me. I don't look like this anymore, though. I got bangs now. I wonder why I decided to change Judith's bangs, potentially. Is it because I also got bangs and I think they're cute? Maybe. No bias whatsoever. Totally organic change. That's me. I'm the creator, the writer, the lead artist, and animator as well. And then this is Caius. He's the lead programmer on the project. Without him, this would definitely not be happening, so he deserves a lot of props, let's just say. That's my mom. She works on the UI design, and she also built this website. This is Erin. She's been helping out a ton with a lot of the environment art for the game, building some of the assets for the background. And this is my sister, Aurora. She's doing the instrumental music for the game. Not listed, though, is someone else, Trent Cade, who is helping us with the Bard's songs for the game. He's not here yet. We will probably be adding him soon. But yeah, gotta give credit to the team. Yeah, Cranky. This has been a pretty fun stream, I've got to say. Thank you for joining me today. I'm not ending quite yet, but it's getting close to 3 hours, so... It's getting close to 3 hours, and I am not done with this guy yet. But I think we're getting pretty close to a good block out, at least. Max says, very cool. I was scared you did all this yourself. Thank you. I have made all the character models, and there's a lot of stuff to do. But the game is going very smoothly. What shall I block out next? I think there needs to be a layer right here, I think. Let me do that. Oh, you know what? Maybe I can just work off of this and do a little something like this. Good night, Oscar. I've noticed that we've gotten a lot more viewership on this stream as well. Usually it's about like 12 to 15, but we're at 25 right now. Welcome. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. Okay, let's Z-remesh. No one wants me to do a karaoke stream except you, okay? I don't know. Does anybody in the chat want me to do a karaoke stream besides Ziggurat?
Oh, I should have saved before I did this.
It ended up working out. Okay, this is taking a while to save. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Literally everyone wants you to sing. Hey. Max says, super glad I found this stream. I'm so interested in everything I've seen and can't wait to tell people about this game. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'll check out your stuff too, by the way. Your shorts already look very cool. I'll check out your channel off stream when I have the time. But guys, check out Mac's channel. I'm just looking at the thumbnails for the shorts and they look really cute, so I'm just in denial. Ah, man. You can put polls in this chat. That's true. I can. All right. Now you can vote in this chat too, but I think I know what's gonna happen. And by the way, when I say new hair for Judith, it just means changing her hair in general. So it doesn't have to specifically be the one that I showed. Caius? Wait, what? Is Caius in the chat? Hey, all staff. Oh, wow. I'm actually surprised that Yes is winning so much in this chat. Interesting, interesting. Ah. I gotcha, I gotcha. Noah's winning in the Discord. Very handily. Max says, I actually logged into 50 alt accounts to ensure my vote wins. You liar. There's only 13 votes on the poll. The court rests its case.
Okay, hold on. Oh, wait. One second. Oh, what the heck? Where did the other one go? Huh. Well, since we're here, I want to show you something. I'm working on the headmaster's office. The headmaster's office. And would you look at that? There's the portraits of the king and the queen on the wall. I wonder if that will be involved in a puzzle of some sort. Oh, delightful. A puzzle. I do love puzzles. Alright, that's enough of that. We can't see any more. Do the portraits get updated when there's a new monarch? They do. There hasn't been a new monarch for many years. Over 20 years, in fact. I'm Judith Heaven. I love puzzles. Doesn't everyone? Bye. I'm Judith Heaven. I love puzzles. Doesn't everyone? Goodbye. The nice thing about this is that I can make this hair kind of messy because I'm just going to retopologize all of it to be pretty low poly anyway. So I don't have to make it look super clean as a sculpt. That's my secret. I'm always messy. Have you seen the manga / anime Witch Hat Art Atelier? Seems to be right up your alley. Well, you're right. It is right up my alley. It's on my watch list, actually. I need to finish Frieren. And then I do plan to watch it. Or maybe I'll watch it before I finish Frieren. I don't know. I don't watch TV shows super regularly these days. I've been reading a lot of books. Not just, I don't have anything against watching TV shows over reading books. It's just, that's what I've been in the mood for, I guess, recently. Just been in the mood for that. You know what I'm really looking forward to? I'm really looking forward to Dungeon Meshi Season 2. I really like Dungeon Meshi. I love the world building. Imagine if there was a chance to get on an Oblivion-style zoom-in on one of the students and they say some weird Oblivion dialogue. You don't come to the Cloud District often, do you? Do you want to bone mash? You read the first volume and got hooked. Magic is so in-depth. Ooh, that sounds exciting. I do love me a good magic system.
Judith, have you heard of the High Elves? Do you want to explore a Dunmer cavern? Cave. Dunmer cavern with me? Khajiit has wares if you have coin. Oh, someone stole your sweet roll. It carries the same tone as Freerin and Dungeon Meshi. Yeah, perfect. Just what I like. I still need to play Oblivion. Halt. In the name of the law, you have broken the I don't remember the line. Pay your fine or something. Damn it. How did I forget that? Skyrim's just one of those RPGs that everybody has played at some point and kind of gave them the blueprint of what a Western RPG is. But it's kind of sad that Bethesda has not evolved past that at all. Skyrim was really cool for the time, and Oblivion were really cool for the time, and Morrowind. But after that, I mean, Fallout 4 has some good aspects. I do like Fallout 4, even though there's a lot of issues with it. Just feels like they haven't evolved at all. Like, at all since then. They just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And even though Starfield is supposedly a brand new IP, it's just the same thing, except an even less interesting setting. I don't know, man. I haven't actually played Starfield, but everything I've seen of it just looks so boring. They need to get their butts in gear and make something creative again. Hopefully Starfield will be a wake-up call for them, but I don't know, man. I want to see Bethesda, like, just really go and do something cool. People were excited for Starfield because they thought, oh, Bethesda's doing something new. We'll be able to see them, you know, really branch out. But it's really not new at all. It's just, like, the reheated leftovers of their other games, feels like. Again, I can't comment too much because I haven't actually played it, but I have watched people play it, and it looks so boring. None of the characters, like, feel like... After you've played Baldur's Gate 3, you start to feel like Bethesda characters just are not real people at all, you know? There will be Skyrim remakes until morale improves. Yeah. Load a field. I agree, Mac. I really wanted Starfield to be good. I was really hoping it would be. I mean, I like the idea of the setting. I liked that they were doing a whole new setting. I wanted to see what they could do with it and see something new from them. But it wasn't new at all, which made it even more disappointing. I mean, for heaven's sake, it literally uses the same... the same plot of Starfield in the sense that same plot of Skyrim in the sense that you go around collecting these special powers because you have a special soul. But instead of the Dragonborn, you're some kind of Spaceborn. And you collect like the same kind of powers you would collect as a Dragonborn. It's the same thing. The picture of Todd Howard in a Teletubby costume with the gun. Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic picture right there. Classic picture. Me and my homies love that picture. Okay, please don't crash on me. Thank you. Thank you for not crashing on me. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. The ZBrush horse gets a little kiss. As a sci-fi mannequin, I hate that. Yeah, Cranky, I don't think you would find Starfield very interesting. There is some stuff that's kind of cool about the lore of that game. Some stuff that's really interesting, but from all the gameplay I've seen of it, it feels like it just doesn't do anything with it, really. And none of the characters seem very interesting at all. Anyway, what a shame. If you want a really good Bethesda game, just play Cyberpunk. That game has actual characters that are really good. And an actual interesting, extremely interesting world and lore and yeah, I love Cyberpunk. Despite the initial controversy, it is a very good game. Bethesda is like if it's like if every single Zelda game was just Ocarina of Time. And this is not to diss Twilight Princess, because Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda game. But Twilight Princess changes things. Twilight Princess has a good story. Twilight Princess... But basically, imagine if they just made the same Zelda game over and over with the same exact mechanics, and the story was just bad every time. I don't know, maybe that's a bad comparison. Because that's what they did with Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, yeah. I am not denying that they messed up Cyberpunk's launch really badly. That is not an exaggeration. I completely understand if people were burned by that and never want to come back to it. But I will tell you guys, if you come back to Cyberpunk now, especially with the Phantom Liberty DLC, and you give it another shot, I think you'll really like it. They really improved that game. The story of the game was always good, but they've made so many improvements to it. It's a legendarily good game, in my opinion. It really hit all the notes that I like about Cyberpunk stories. But yes, I understand why if people would not forgive them for what happened with the launch, because it was very bad management there. But I wouldn't say it's really the devs' fault as much as it was the higher-ups forcing them to get it out so quickly. How far into the game before you started Phantom Liberty? For me personally, I played the entire game after it launched. So I played Phantom Liberty after I had already, like, when Cyberpunk first came out, I played it beginning to end, and I loved it. I was playing it on PC. I did not have any of the same problems that a lot of people had, so I was lucky. Especially, again, because I played it on PC. And so, I just used my old character when Phantom Liberty came out.
that I had already used to complete the game. Oh, Cranky, I also did the censored version. It was pretty good, but to be honest, Cranky, for me at least, I was trying to get a mod that censored some of the advertisements, because some of the advertisements were very sexual. They made me personally, made me a little uncomfortable, so I got mods to censor some of the advertisements. But beyond that, if you just use the normal nudity setting, you should be okay. That's why I like modding. You're not forcing the devs to change the game to your vision. You can just change it how you like without, you know, demanding changes to align with your specific views. There's a couple mods on Nexus Mods that can censor the ads in different ways. Some of them like just straight up censor them. Some of them offer full replacements. So there's a couple different fun options that are still rather lore friendly. So it won't like completely take you out of the experience. Cranky, I think you'd like Cyberpunk. It's got one of those really existential type of vibes to it. Have you tried Baldur's Gate 3? I have. I really like that game. You know what's really funny? Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield came out around the same time, and I was wondering which one to get. I can't believe I had trouble deciding that now. I was looking at both of their Steam pages. I was like, oh, which one should I get? I don't know. I want to play both of these games. Then Caius, the programmer of this of our game, he was like, Baldur's Gate 3. Seriously, just get Baldur's Gate 3. And I was like, okay, I'll get Baldur's Gate 3. And I'm so glad he told me that, because that is such a better game. Baldur's Gate 3 is the kind of game people want Bethesda games to be. Of course, not the same gameplay, because Bethesda doesn't do turn-based, nor should they have to, but in terms of, you know, tone and writing, world building. Me when the characters are consumed by the torment. Cranky, you're gonna love Cyberpunk. Dodged a bullet. Yeah, seriously. It dodged wasting $70. At least Baldur's Gate was $60. Diverging timelines. Straight up. Okay, I think I'm just kind of splitting hairs back here, literally. This is almost ready for retopology. But overall, how are we feeling about Deacon hair? He looks like someone, but I cannot put my finger on who he looks like. Who am I thinking of? Oh my god.
Hold on. I think I know who I'm thinking of. One second. I think I know who this guy looks like. Okay, wait a second. Deacon is looking like... Look at how different the doll version looks. Are you kidding me? This sucks. At least it's not the same hair. I was worried like it would be, but... It's the glasses. Yeah, beyond that, I think... I was worried when I was thinking of who he looked like it might look too similar, but now that I've actually seen Dexter again, their hair is completely different, so I think I'm fine. Okay. Anything left to do on stream? I think I'm still gonna touch this up a little bit, but seriously, what do you guys think? I feel like I might put a little bit more stray hairs here and there, but as for a base, do you think this is good? You liking it? Is it looking enough like the... I mean, the concept art was really rough. I didn't plan it for it to look exactly like that anyway. But, looks very good. Nice, nice. I appreciate that. Good. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. I'm definitely getting tired, so I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining today. We streamed a little longer than usual because we were having so much fun doing... I mean, I really should have gotten more progress done, but I'm so glad that we had fun going on these tangents. That was really fun. Especially, kind of figuring out your opinions on Judith's hair. Okay. See you all, and thanks again so much for the support as well. Thank you so much for your donations on today's stream. And also, thank you for, to the new people coming in. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!